Hey, what's up? It's Mykill Metal, and this is another episode of Kerbal Space Program. And I do apologize, this should have probably come out a few days ago, but I was busy trying to get the hang of Space Engineers, because I just got it the other day. And I decided I would bring back Probe Control Room, because I got it to work with my mods again. So, this is the control room, and right now I'm launching my first ScanSat satellite. Hopefully in a few days I'll be able to upload a Space Engineers video. Here goes the staging. And I had to keep this one a little bit vertical, higher than I normally would, because the engine is a little bit underpowered for the second stage. But it starts to work pretty well, and I'm going to change the cameras around so you guys can see the new skybox that I downloaded. I think it's the skybox from EVE Online, and it actually looks really badass. And once I get into orbit, you'll be able to see it. There you go. That looks amazing. Look at that. We go to get the maneuver node set up. And I'm circularized. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside so I can see the vehicle. Actually right now I'm going to turn so I can see Minmus and the moon, because that looks pretty cool. And then I'm going to go outside and I'm going to turn on the scanner. And this is the first scanner to go up. I'm going to send another couple up once I unlock those. And start time warping. And an hour or so later, actually no, first I raised the apoapsis and the periapsis to 250, so it scans a bit more at the same time at a time. Once I do that, I time warp for a couple hours, and I finally get this result, and I get enough, over 95%, to where I can send some science back. Just wanted to make sure that it was over 95%, so I did it twice. There we go, and this one is the Kerbal Station Reactors, which is a bunch of RTGs on a part at the top that I'm going to attach to Kerbal Station so that it can do science on the dark side of the planet, because it couldn't before, because it used all of the energy that it had within the first 5 to 10 minutes of being on the dark side. And with this on there, it should be able to do science non-stop on the dark side. Start the gravity turn, change up some of the cameras. Awesome view in the lower right corner, also lower left of the main screens. And I start to rotate the craft to get a better view once I get up to a certain height. There we go. There's the third stage. Get it up to 100 or 120 or so, and then circularize it. That's what the ship looks like on the outside. And once I get it in close, I'm going to set it up for this little node underneath the fuel tank. Just bring this in nice and slow at about 0.3. And time warp some of the way. And there we go. And the problem with the Kerbal Station is once you jump into render range, it is literally 2 to 5 frames per minute. Not even joking, not frames per second, frames per minute. It is ridiculous. The only reason it looks kind of steady right now is because the video is accelerated at like 4 times normal speed. That way I can put a bunch of missions and launches and stuff in one video. I try to keep my videos under 15 minutes. Sometimes I break that if it's like Alive or something, but for this I tend to go to 15 minutes because after that people stop watching. And I'm going to take this Kerbal and grab some of the science from the experiments that are done. And flying around in a jetpack at like 5 frames per second is completely ridiculous. That's why he's bobbling back and forth, because I have no idea which way he's going until the next frame pops up. For some reason I can't take... I know that one's finished, but for some reason I can't take it out of that one. What he's going to do, he's going to come over here and get in the Kerbal Station bus, and take it back down to the surface so I can make room to... and he flies off into space. No matter what I do with turning the RCS, the jetpack on and off, he does not want to stabilize it. He keeps flying further away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to time warp a little bit. And that seems to stabilize him. So now I can get back. So yeah, what I'm going to do is send this Kerbal Station bus back down to the surface so I can make room for more shuttles. And the one on the other side, the Kerbal Station taxi, is also capable of transportation to the moon and back. It has enough delta V for that, so having these will be handy. The bus is a little bit too heavy to make it out to the moon. Like it could probably make it there, but it wouldn't be able to circularize. It would run out of fuel. I mean, I could probably still do it with the monopropellant, but I wouldn't want to try. I had enough problems with that in the last video with the Minmus. Just gonna burn into a lower orbit so I can pass this by. And once I get over the desert over here, I'm going to start burning to set up my landing to go towards the Space Center. But I miss. I come in a little bit too steep, and I drop way short of the target. Like, in the mountains, short of the target. Get rid of as much lateral velocity as I can with the engine, so it takes some of the strain off the parachutes. And once I get down here, I'm going to start burning again until the chute's open. And then once I see my final velocity, I'm going to slowly try to land and not tip over, which I do successfully. And this is the replacement miner for Minmus Station that I said I was going to send up. I know I said I was going to be working on the Mooner Station today, but I didn't really have time for that in the video, so I'll be saving that for the next episode. Here's the burnout towards Minmus. circularizing. I'm going to put a maneuver node over here at the ascending node and try to even this out as much as I can. And then time warp over there. Level this out. There we go. I'm going to set up another maneuver to try and see where the best rendezvous would be, and try to set that up over there. It's a little wiggly, so it takes me a minute. I get it pretty close, within like 2 kilometers, I think, somewhere in there. There we go. And now I'm going to time warp in. Another thing that I did add was Distant Object Enhancement. So now you can actually kind of see the stations as I'm coming in close before I even get into render range. And you can see them from the surface too, which is pretty cool. Another thing that I noticed about this as I was coming in is that I forgot to put RCS on this. So I need to send a second one. And I'll cut away in a second, you'll see that. And this is the second one that I actually did put RCS on. There we go. Got that attached. And Fraps decided not to record my first landing. So there was my first landing. I got a bunch of science, and I headed out over towards that spot. And once I was done, I docked back with the station and transferred the Kerbals into the science lab so they could do some conversion of the science and make it better or whatever. I'm not sure if it actually does anything for what you take back to Kerbin, but I did it anyways because that's the way I like to play. And I'm going to take one Kerbal, have him grab all the science, put him in there, transfer some more fuel over, and make the burn on back towards Kerbin. It's like a 4-day journey back. Set the periapsis at about 26 kilometers. I'm going to retract the solar panels and close the shield. As soon as I enter the atmosphere, the music goes away. Made it up to about 5 Gs, not too bad. But I realize that I'm going to land in the ocean. So now I start to panic and think that my ship is going to fall apart once it hits the water. But luckily for me, it does not do that. And I'm able to recover the entire ship. And once I do that, I realize that I ended up with about 2,500 science, and I'm going to go unlock a bunch of stuff. And that's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully by next time, I'll be able to do, to finish Kerbin Station, or not Kerbin Station, the Mooner Station, and I'll be able to do some other things with the moon. So yeah, if you liked the video, leave a like, comment, and share it so other people can see it, and I'll see you next time.